welcome to the Den, where we are a source of inspiration by using our experiences, knowledge, and voices to empower women to move with intent. Today, we're going to be talking about motherhood, being mothers. My name is Michelle, la entrenadora.
Hi, I'm Dr. Uchenna, the DR.
Hi, I'm Sherelle, the socially conscious social worker.
And I'm Dr. Evie Taylor, AKA the People's Professor, and together we are the MUSE.
So let me start by saying Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
Happy Mother's Day!
And to all of you out there, now, I don't want to damper this in anybody's spirits, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really like Mother's Day because I don't like the fact that it's like, oh, you gotta wait a whole year, and it's like, this is the day we acknowledge mothers. Like, it's not right. I feel like the teachers and the nurses don't get the respect that's due. Mothers don't either. But anywho, I wanted to start off by, I found some information. I looked up like Mother's Day history, and I just found some stuff, and I just want to share some fun facts. So now this is what I heard online. You never know. But supposedly, this lady named Anna Jarvis, she conceived of Mother's Day as a way of honoring the sacrifices mothers made for their children. Now, she never was married and never had kids, which is weird, but she wanted to see this holiday added to the national calendar. And she argued that American holidays were biased towards male achievements. And she started a massive letter writing campaign to newspapers and prominent politicians urging the adoption of a special day honoring motherhood. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so that's supposedly where it came from. And I don't even remember the date. It was like late 1800s, early 1900s, somewhere.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'll say in early 1900s. I don't even know why I didn't write the date down. So celebrations of mothers and motherhood can be traced back to the ancient Greeks and Romans. So like they held festivals to honor the mother goddesses. You know, they had the mother goddesses. But modern precedent for Mother's Day is the early Christian festival known as Mothering Sunday. And once a major tradition, and once it was a major tradition, what's so funny?
What does that even mean?
Mothering.
Mothering.
Okay, well, Mothering Sunday, it was a major tradition in the United Kingdom and parts of Europe. And this celebration fell on the fourth Sunday in Lent and was originally seen as a time when the faithful would return to their mother church, the main church in the vicinity of their home. So that was that thing. So while versions of Mother's Day are celebrated worldwide, traditions vary depending on the country. For example, in Thailand, Mother's Day is always celebrated in August, which is on the birthday of the current queen. Another Mother's Day can be found in Ethiopia, where families gather each fall to sing songs and eat a large feast as part of a multi-day celebration honoring motherhood. And also, I found that at times, Mother's Day had also been a date for launching political and feminist causes. In 1968, Coretta Scott King, wife of Martin Luther King Jr., used Mother's Day to host a march in support of underprivileged women and children. And in the 1970s, women's groups also used the holiday as a time to highlight the need for equal rights and access to child care. So that was just some fun facts I found.
That's cool.
That was a lot of facts.
Yeah, there was a lot more. I just picked some out. But today, being Mother's Day, we wanted to share with you some of our experiences and challenges and successes because it is so important for mothers to get together and discuss challenges and successes and milestones to help other mothers feel better and to let them know that they're not alone. And I have to admit that sharing stories with other mothers saved me from going crazy and for not jumping off of a balcony, because I found that other people felt the same as me. It wasn't just my kid that was doing this crazy stuff, and it just made me feel better. So I wanted us to just talk about some stuff and maybe share some funny stories or experiences about motherhood with our audience.
Mhm.
Anybody got anything to share?
I'll start off. I want to talk about so my daughter and I she's she's a young woman now. And so I like her. It's really important to like your children. So, I love her, but I like her. I thought about, when you said that motherhood is like a gift and everyone's, always like, oh my God, it's such a blessing. And I felt that, but in the first 6 weeks of her life, I was a raving lunatic because she was colicky and she cried from 11 to 2 every night for 6 weeks. So I cried from 10 to 11 because I would start crying because I knew she was going to start crying. So I was like, oh my God. I would start crying hysterically because I knew she was going to start crying. And she was like, and you can't soothe them. And it was like the worst experience. So by the time she got like months old, people like, oh, she's such a sweet baby. She doesn't cry. I'm like, she's cried enough.
Enough.
Whole life.
Sherelle, did you have any postpartum? Because maybe that even made it worse.
I did have postpartum. I did. I had postpartum up until like I was 9 months of her life. I was like, it was really bad. Yeah,
I had it too. I had that postpartum too. And I tell you that was a scary, it's like, dang, why do I feel so depressed? And like, I didn't have it like all day, every day, but I felt different. Yeah. And then it was so weird, but speaking to other women and then finding out that they felt different feelings too.
Yeah.
Because of the changes.
The hormonal changes, your responsibility levels, like all of that. And the only funny thing about it was I was so depressed. The only thing that I felt like I did right was take care of her. Like everything else, I was just flat. And I know that I needed to take care of her. So that kept me going, bathing. Like that part, it was like always pristine. But everything else, I was just like, my hair was all over the place. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I know. It's like you're trying to take care of your other little living being and you're not thinking about yourself first. You're automatically thinking about them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like a huge change. And I know people see new moms, and like you said, no hair, like stains on their shirts, all wet, throw up.
Girl, I was wearing those maternity clothes. Like, I call them garanimals because it was like a matching kind of thing. I call them like the garanimals that the kids used to wear. I was still wearing it because I gained so much weight.
Don't say, because let me tell you, Uchenna still had on her booty shorts, and her little tank top while she was pregnant.
She did.
I had gained so much weight.
She did. Her stomach was just out.
She don't know nothing about maternity clothes.
I was working out and teaching Tai Bo. Remember, Michelle?
Yep, she sure was. She was teaching Tai Bo.
I was eating honey buns. That's what I was doing.
Wait, but you all didn't see me with Elon when I picked up 25 pounds in the first 3 months. So I dressed like that. And I didn't go anywhere. I didn't walk upstairs. I thought I was going to die. I thought my body was going to die. So
I didn't see you that much with him.
With Elon, you didn't. Well, let me see, because Milani was born like a little less than a year later.
Yeah.
So,
but I remember when I came down to see him, he was already like a month or 3 weeks. He was that was a lot. He was, Lord Jesus, that was that. The more pregnancies you have and the older you are,
your body just doesn't respond.
This is why I stopped at 2. There was going to be no more. But I was really fortunate because my kids, like, they weren't colicky. They were both sleeping through the night by 6 weeks. They didn't cry much. That's why I had another one so close, because they were just like, Blaze was so easy. But it was on my schedule. Like, I got my sleep because I kept him up. He tried to go to bed at 8 and I was like, oh no, here you go. I woke him up. He had to stay up until, he didn't get a bath until 10 o'clock at night because he was not going to bed early because I was not waking up all throughout the night. And so he was nice and tired. And I remember my mom would be like, let that boy go to sleep. And I was like, no, he's not going to let me sleep because he's going to wake up. So he's going to go to bed when I go to bed.
Oh Lord, you trained him. You got his body used to that.
I just turned on my left side and then I turned on my right side. And I said, Eddie, go get her. I remember because really the first one. The ones after the first are kind of, it's easier, but the first child, it's like, oh my God, I can't get up.
See, me and Sherelle only have one.
Yeah.
We don't have
That's
comparison.
why.
I mean,
because
the
I could,
first one,
yeah.
the first one though, but I think universally, the first child, because you don't know what, I mean, you have an alien growing in your body. You don't know what to expect. And then when they come out, you don't know what the heck to do. I read what to expect when expecting, what to expect in the first year, and my children did none of that. None of that. None of that. So
It's a good guide though, because I think
It is.
I remember reading that, and it helps you a little bit, like for any new mothers, or even like you said, they have them like at older ages. So it's nice to look at that stuff just to give a little bit of guidance.
It is.
Yeah, because I know like one of the things with me, I just always thought I was doing it wrong, always. And so it did make me feel better when I spoke with other people, and they're like, oh, well, no, I do that too. And, and it just made me feel a lot better. But even now with the teenager,
now.
I'm like, I messed up. I didn't do this right. I should have done this. And that's something I always think, I wish I could go back and do this, because
I
like,
think it's such a beautiful young lady, and
You've done it.
like she's beautiful.
I think we experience that throughout motherhood. I mean, until our children are probably 60, 70, God willing, we're still here, because it's all a new experience, and it's a different experience with each child. You go through something different and you learn. I mean, there's no like manual on how to do it, right? Like,
and I just learned from a lot of my friends with their kids, and my aunts with their kids. Like, I really took that in and learned from that. Everybody doesn't always like take what they see from other people and use it for themselves.
Right.
But I did that, and I was like, I think that helped a lot too. Like, if I saw like a kid, like a good kid, I'm like, okay, what's this mama doing? Because I want to do that. I want to try that.
So,
But
So
Michelle,
I'm gonna-
I think that's so important because you talking to other people, and like even like with you and Cheryl saying like with the postpartum depression, I think so many times moms, they think like they're the only ones that feel this way. So they don't reach out, they don't get the support, and then they get more and more depressed, or they don't reach out, thinking they're doing things wrong, and they're not talking to other people. So they think it's just them when lots of people are going through similar things. So I think that you're making a really good point, like how important it is to talk to other moms, because we all have struggles, right?
Yes.
I'm going to speak to a special subset of mothers, I think, because it's all beautiful, but to mothers that have lost children, especially if it's their only child, because I've lost a child. Fortunately, thankfully, blessedly, I have other children, but I actually have many friends that have lost children and they don't have any other children. So Mother's Day is very bittersweet. I mean, for me, part of it's bittersweet too, because a part of you is gone. A part of your heart is missing. A part of you is no longer where you can touch, hug, feel. And not to be somber, I mean, because it is what it is, but it's especially for those that don't have other children, it's difficult to watch mothers with their children. I mean, it's not, and it's an everyday, all day thing. And I think Mother's Day is often a reminder. But I'm just saying to you mothers out there, you are not alone, and there's much love, and your angels are watching over you, and just keep their love and their memories alive, because as a mother, that's what we do when our children aren't with us, whether it's on this earth or they're miles and miles away. We're constantly reminded of the love we have for them and their love for us. So, yeah.
Thank you for saying that, Uchenna. I know that that's going to speak to so many people's hearts. And another population that I think of are people who have tried to be mothers and have not, had babies. But I think about my aunt who no longer is with us, but she didn't have any children, but she was like a second mother to me, right? And so I think that, many women who may not have birthed their own child or have, their own child in their custody or, anything like that, I think that, you know, you're mothering to nieces and nephews and cousins and, you know, little sisters and little brothers, and all of that
Definitely.
experience is still something, you know, I just
counts.
say, right, it does count. It
counts.
does count. Huge. It counts.
Mhm.
And we want to extend a happy Mother's Day to you too. So that's a
Absolutely.
population too. Absolutely. Mhm.
I mean, I think years ago, Michelle, I think you and I talked about this, but at statistically speaking, like 35% of women can't have children. That was many years ago. I don't know what the new statistics are, I haven't looked. But
That's a
when you
lot.
really take a step back and think about that, 35% of women cannot have children. And then I think about all the people that shouldn't have children, but that's another show.
Right. Right.
But 35% is a huge number of women that suffer in silence, that really do.
You know what? I want to just announce this. It was on CBS News. It's an agency that's called Poppy Seed. And Poppy Seed was started by a Black woman who struggles trying to have a child. And they have everything from doulas to midwives to counseling, and like really affordable, because I was offering that to someone I know. And like if people feel like they, you know, they're in IVF, like they're doing, you know, different kinds of infertility treatments. And sometimes you want someone to talk to, and they like, for like 30 minutes, you could talk to someone that has some experience for like $25. You know, just going on. And it's called Poppy Seed. And the woman that started it, I don't remember her name, but I saw it on CBS News. And she struggled. She hasn't had her own child. And she created this agency just for women who were successful and women who were still struggling with trying to have a child. And they do it virtually as well. So very good, very nice organization.
It's called Poppy Seed Midwifery. Is that what it is?
It may be. I'm not sure what it's called, but I know it's Poppy Seed. I can't remember because I did go online and look for it. But they have midwives and doulas and
I
all
see
of that.
it.
That's a great resource.
That's a good resource. That's a good resource for patients. That's a really good. Do you know? I'm just curious. I'm sure. Do you know if it's only English or bilingual or multi? You know,
Not sure, because I'm not sure how expansive it is. And so the person I gave the resource to was English speaking, so I hadn't checked anything else out. But I'm sure, you know, if they kind of blow up. I thought that was like such a great agency. I was like mesmerized. I was just standing there like, oh my God, this is wonderful.
And it's telehealth, it's telemedicine. So
they do telehealth.
You can be wherever you're at in the, that's a good resource.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. So what is everybody doing for Mother's Day?
So I'm going to eat. So I call them my in-laws. So Shayla's, my daughter's family, the men in the family, they get food for all the women. So we go over and we eat, we laugh, we talk. So I'm looking forward to doing that. We're doing that on Sunday.
That's fine.
Today, later.
Yep, on Sunday. Yep, today. Sorry. I know, right? Where's my brain? Today.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I let people surprise me. So sometimes I get good surprises and sometimes I get bad surprises.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Like I said when we started this show, like I don't want you only to do it today. Like show me that you appreciate me and everything that I do and all my sacrifices. Any time of the year, it's welcome.
24/7, 365.
Yeah. Surprise.
Hint.
Hint, yeah. So if you forget on Mother's Day to do something special, that's all right. You could do it another day.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be today. Anybody else got anything?
Well, this year, neither one of my kids are here. So it's going to be a little different Mother's Day. But
the first time ever? The first time ever?
I think so, not having either one of them, but my husband will step up because he's going to feel sorry for me. So
that's nice.
He's going to think I'm sad. So he's going to make sure. But Yeah, so my kids already sent the gifts and they're like, you haven't opened them yet. Are you shaking them? Don't try to figure out what they are. And so they're on top of it. You know, they're waiting for me. So I'll talk to them and we'll probably have like a Zoom little time where we're all together on Zoom, but they're not going to be here.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. And Shanna, you're gonna be at some basketball games.
Basketball, sports, but I'll be with the kids. I'll be with the
babies.
Yeah.
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 Those were my
That's
best
important.
my best Mother's Days, you know, when they're grown up. Every Mother's Day we were at, you know, at a game.
Right.
That's nice. Just to spend the time together, doing
Mhm.
something together is nice. And you know, I hope that you know, you brought up a good point, Uchenna, as far as like and Sherelle, everybody's not a mother. Sometimes you might have been and lost a child. And it's, you know, you still have love for others, for your nieces, like you were saying, nephews, I mean, all kids, anybody that surrounds you, and you give them advice and love and support and guidance, you're mothering them. And they look at you like that, definitely. I mean, I have some aunts that I'm like really close with that I remember growing up, like they gave me like the best advice. And even when I was a young woman, and just, I love them. I love them like big sisters, like mothers. And so, yeah, so I hope that everybody, you know, enjoys their day one way or the other. And definitely remember to get together with other mothers. If you have any issues or if you just want to vent, definitely call somebody and you will feel better, for sure. But call the right people. Don't call anybody negative.
Don't go call anybody that's having a screaming
Yes.
child next to them, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Or always got something to say. Negative.
Know
Don't
your
call
people,
them.
know your people.
Yeah, you know who to call. Call them. Anybody else have anything else they want to share before we let all you mothers and women and grandmothers and aunts and go and have a wonderful day?
I just say enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. Make it the least stressful day it can be. I mean, to me, I don't cook on Mother's Day. I don't cook today. I just relax. Just sit back and reflect.
Right.
You know, just reflect.
Yeah.
And have peace
Yeah.
and joy.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with us today. And make sure you come back and join us
In the den.
Where places don't make you feel at home.
People do.
Happy
Happy
Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day.